If you love your precious metals, you're not going to want to miss CPM Group's upcoming Precious Metals Seminar taking place May 17th in New York. Joining me on the spot today to talk about this and more is Jeff Christian. He's the founder of the firm. Jeff, as always, a pleasure having you on Kitco News.
Yeah, it's always good to talk to you.
All right, Jeff, it's a big week for you this week. CPM holding their Precious Metals Seminar this Thursday in New York. It's a full-day event, people coming out to it. What can they expect to hear?
Well, this is the second year that we're having this, and it's really geared to institutional and high-net-worth individual investors. But what we've done both last year and this year is we've picked companies that we think are very interesting mining and or development companies across the precious metals. So we have gold, silver, and platinum group metals companies presenting, about 10 of them. I'll launch the Silver Yearbook at that time, and two of our analysts, Erica Ranestad and Rohit Savant, will also be giving presentations on our outlook for platinum group metals and gold. So it's going to be a really big, full day full of information about precious metals, and it's coming at a pretty critical time in these markets.
Absolutely, Jeff. And from what I understand, CPM will also be launching their coveted Silver Yearbook during this day.
Yes, I actually will give a talk at lunchtime on the conclusions and highlights of the Silver Yearbook that will be released on that day.
Jeff, what are some things that you found surprising in terms of the silver market?
Well, I think the silver market, I'm not sure that I would say it was surprising. I mean, what we've seen is that investment demand has continued to be pretty heavy, about 132 million ounces a year last year, roughly the same as in 2010, and probably going to be roughly the same this year. There is some weakness in investment demand right now, but it held up very well last year, despite the fact that the price came off after early May 2011.
So why should investors be coming out to this seminar? Why should they attend, Jeff?
Well, I think it's a very critical time, like as I said, for the precious metals markets. Silver prices have been declining now for 12 months. Gold has been declining for 8 months. There are still a lot of people who look around at the world financial system and global economic conditions and say, oh, gold and silver have to go much higher. But there are any number of other investors who were saying, wait a second, we've been saying this for 5 years and the prices have been rising, but now for the last year or so, they're looking a little bit high and top-heavy, and they've come off. And I think it's a very good time for investors to sort of sit down, take a deep breath, and say, really, what's going on in the precious metals markets? And equally important, what are some of the interesting equity companies that I could be investing in, regardless of where the price is going?
So, Jeff, you say it's a critical time. Can you shed some light as to why we're seeing a decline in both the gold and silver markets?
Well, I think there are a couple things. First off is, the price just got to very high levels. There are any number of people in the market who are simply trend followers. So into September and really after September, the price of gold was rising sharply. So people would draw a line on a price chart and say, well, the price is going to go higher and higher and higher. It's never going to stop. It's going to go to $2,500. It's going to go to $3,000. And now, as I said, you're 8 months down the road and you've seen the price steadily decline. So now those same guys are drawing lines on the chart saying, wait a second, this thing's going to fall. And now you're having some people say, well, maybe it's going to 3,000, but you have other people saying, no, it's going to 1,000. We happen to think both sides are wrong. So it's a good time to get a reality check and say, wait a second, gold is, after all, a market, and it behaves like a market, and supply, demand, investment demand, and central bank activity all have effects on prices which will limit both the extent to which they can rise and the extent to which they'll fall.
Jeff, do you think when Greece figures out its political landscape, we'll see a reversal for gold?
Well, there are any number of people who are now saying, well, Greece is going to pull out of the euro, and I don't think that that's going to happen. But our view is that the Greek political, economic, and financial problems are going to be there for years to come, and they're going to continue to cause people to be nervous. I don't think that Greece will pull out of the euro. I wouldn't be surprised if they wind up having a new round of elections because they can't form a government at this point. But a lot of people in Europe and in Greece seem to be very well aware that the consequences of Greece pulling out of the euro would be devastating not only for the Greek people but also for the global economy. And so I think that what you're going to find is this is just going to go on and on and on, and it's going to continue to create an environment in which people say, I should have some of my money in gold and silver.
Jeff, well, I know I'm looking forward to heading down to New York to cover the conference this Thursday. Thank you.
Looking forward to seeing you there. Thanks.
And if you would like more information on CPM's Precious Metals Seminar, you can email them at info@cpm-group.com. Again, it's info@cpm-group.com. If you'd like to email me with any questions or feedback, you can do so at newsfeedback@kitco.com. For Kitco News, I'm Daniela Cambona.